Hello everyone and welcome to Study IQ English. I am Joycey Joy and today in this video we are going to discuss about IIP Index of Industrial Production and PMI, that is Purchasing Managers Index. It's a very important topic. Let's get started. So first is IIP or the Index of Industrial Production. So IIP is basically an index that measures or indicates the performance of various industrial sectors of the Indian economy. It measures the performance or the growth of various industrial sectors of the economy. It is published by CSO. It's calculated and it's published by the Central Statistical Organization. Now, what is IIP and who publishes IIP? These two things are very important. So, what is IIP? It's a composite index or it's an index which measures the growth of various industrial sectors of the economy. Second one, who compiles it? That is a Central Statistical Organization compiles it. It's a composite indicator of general level of industrial activity in the economy. It's a composite indicator, which means overall, it's a composite index which measures the general level of industrial activity in the economy. So this is the official definition given by CSO for IIP. Let's see what it is. It is a composite indicator that measures short-term changes in the volume of production of a basket of industrial products during a given period with respect to that of a base period. Let us try to understand this definition in detail by breaking it into different points. First one is that it's a composite indicator. By saying that it's a composite indicator, it means that it has components from different sectors, or within the industrial sector, different subsectors are included. That is why it is a composite index. Second, it measures short-term changes. Why it measures short-term changes? Because IIP or the Index of Industrial Production is compiled every month. So this is done monthly basis. That's why it measures the short-term changes. Third is, what does it measure? It measures the changes in volume of production. That is the real output or the volume of production. That is the real output. Fourth, a basket of industrial products, which means not all goods or industrial products can be taken up in order to calculate the index or to arrive at the index, but instead a basket, that is a sample of industrial products, are taken for a given period and it is compared with respect to its base period. So comparison is made with the base period. That is the comparison. So this is the official definition given by the CSO for this. The index gives the growth rates of different industry groups of the economy over a specified time period. Growth rate can be measured by measuring the output. Now, growth is measured by GDP, and GDP is quantity into price, which is the monetary value of the goods produced in an economy. So, output or quantity is one measurement of growth in an economy in a specific period of time. Now, the industry groups that it measure are classified as broad sectors, use-based sectors. So, these are the two groups or broad divisions that the index has classified the industries into. First is broad sectors. It includes manufacturing, mining and electricity. These are the broad sectors. Now, use-based, that means the sectors are classified based on the use of the sectors like capital goods, basic goods, intermediate goods, infrastructure goods, consumer durables, consumer non-durables, etc. So, these are use-based sectors. Next is the 8 core industries of India. The 8 core industries are very important and this 8 core industries constitute 40% of the weight of items included in the IIP. That is 40% of weightage of IIP is from the core industries, 8 core industries. So which are these 8 core industries? It includes electricity, steel, refinery products, crude oil, coal, cement, natural gas, fertilizers. So these are the 8 core industries. And these 8 core industries constitute 40% of the weightage of the IIP. The United Nations Statistics Division recommends including quarrying, gas, steam and air conditioning supply, sewage, water supply, waste management and remediation in broad sectors. But this is not included. This is just a recommendation of United Nations Statistics Division. Why it is not included? This is because of problems in data availability on a monthly basis, because IIP is compiled on a monthly basis. So data is not available on a monthly basis for all these subsectors. That's why it is not included under the IIP. And you have to remember that these things are not included in IIP even though recommendation has been made by the United Nations. So that's why mining, electricity and manufacturing are the three broad sectors covered under the IIP. Now coming to significance or the importance of IIP. The index is used by government agencies and departments for policy making. Why? Because it gives a direction of the growth, whether there is real growth in the economy or not. And based on that, policies or policy decisions can be made by the government or by different ministries or departments. So first point is that it helps in policy making. Second, this is helpful in calculating the gross value added of the manufacturing sector quarterly. We know a financial year in India is divided into 4 quarters, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. These are the 4 quarters in a financial year. So every financial year is divided into 4 quarters. Alright. So for each quarter growth has to be estimated or growth has to be calculated. Now to calculate the GVA. GVA is gross value added. So what is gross value added or what is GVA? It is basically what is the value addition made, that is output minus intermediate consumption, that is GVA. Output minus intermediate consumption, that is the value of GVA. So for calculating GVA, gross value added for each quarter separately, IIP is very much useful. The index is used by business analysts, financial experts and private industry for multiple purpose. Business analysts who make analysis of the business and also come up with conclusions and recommendations use it. Financial experts use it. Also the private industry also use it for multiple purposes. It is the only measure of physical volume of production. This is very important. It measures the physical volume of production. That is, it measures the real output. Real output is measured. It's also extremely useful for the projection of advanced GDP estimates. To calculate or to predict what can be the advanced GDP, this is very much helpful. Now coming to latest changes made in IIP. These are the latest changes made. In 2017, these changes were adopted. Any index is to be subject to changes and modifications like changing the base year, including more items in the basket, etc. So, change in base year. Base year was changed and base year is the year with which the comparison is made. The present year or the present month's comparison is made with that of the base year. So, first one is that the base year was changed and second one, more items were included in the basket. Now, the new base year, the new and the current base year for IIP is 2011-12 financial year. This is the new base year. The previous base year was 2004-05. Next is inclusion and deletion of certain items. Some items were added and some were taken off or deleted. So, let's see what are the items introduced. Refined palm oil, surgical accessories, cement clingers. These are the items included and certain items were removed, that is chewing tobacco, toothbrush, calculators, fan, watches and pens. And this is the 9th base year revision, that is 2011-12. This new base year, this is the 9th time the base year is being revised and IIP was first published in 1950. Since then, this is the 9th time. The first base year was 1937. These are all not very important, but just for your knowledge that it was started in 1950 with the base year 1937 and this is the 9th time the base year is being changed. You have to remember what is the present base year, that is 2011-12 is the present base year, that you have to definitely remember. Next we are coming to PMI or Purchasing Managers Index. PMI or Purchasing Managers Index is an economic indicator derived from the monthly survey of private sector companies. So this is derived from monthly survey of private sector companies. It aims in providing information regarding the current and future conditions of business to decision makers, analysts and investors of the company. The purpose of PMI, Purchasing Managers Index. See, from the name itself it is clear, Purchasing Managers Index. So the purpose is to provide information to the businesses or the managers regarding the current situation of the business and also how could it be in the future. Coming to the calculation of PMI, Purchasing Managers Index calculation, the formula is P1 into 1 plus P2 into 0.5 plus P3 into 0. Let's see what it is. P1 is equal to percentage of answers that are reporting on an improvement. P2 is percentage of answers with no change, whereas P3 is the percentage of answers having a deterioration. So this is P1, P2 and P3. So this is how it's calculated, but definitely the formula is not important as long as you are not preparing for any exam related to economics, be it economic service or RBI grade B. For all that, this is important, but UPSC perspective or any general state PSC general exams, formula is not important, but just to know how it is being derived. PMI economic indicator is generated by 3 organizations. There are 3 principal producers of Purchasing Managers Index. One is Institute of Supply Management, ISM. It is headquartered in USA. Second one is SIPMM, that is Singapore Institute of Purchasing and Materials Management. It's in Singapore. And IHS Market Group, which is very popular. It's in London. So these are the 3 producers of PMI. PMI values and its components play a major role in providing useful insight into economic activity of a business to the decision makers, market analysts and investors. Now, let's see how does PMI work. Purchasing Managers Index is released and compiled by ISM every month. The PMI value is based on the survey that is conducted on a monthly basis and it's sent to senior executives of over 400 companies under 19 primary industries that are weighed by their contribution to the US GDP. And the PMI, it focuses on 5 major survey areas. Which are these survey areas? One is employment, second is new orders that a company receives, third is production, fourth is inventory or the stock levels of a company, and fifth is supplier deliveries. So these are the 5 major survey areas. These are the areas where the survey is being held or conducted. So ISM, it weighs all these 5 survey areas equally. And the headline PMI, it's a number between 0 and 100, and if the PMI is above 50, it represents an expansion, and if it's below 50, it means that there is a contraction. See, if it's below 50, it shows a contraction, and if it's 50, it shows that there is no change. This you have to remember. So this index value is between 0 and 100. So this is the range of the index, and if the value is 50 or above, it shows there is an expansion in business activity. If it's below 50, it shows a contraction, and if it's 50, it shows that there is no change in business activity. Now, what is the role of PMI in the economy? It is an essential decision-making tool because the output or the findings of PMI is helpful for making decisions in the economy for both managers and the suppliers. It also provides information regarding current and future conditions of a business to the decision makers, analysts, investors of the company, etc. So this helps in finding out the future demand for desired products, and it allows the supplier to know how much inventory its customers have on hand, and as a result it can affect the production amount generated by its clients. So demand estimation can be said as one function. Then second one is the information provided by the Purchasing Managers Index on supply and demand. It may affect the prices charged by the suppliers. Then thirdly, it is helpful in planning the annual budget, managing staff levels, etc. And then it is used by the investors and indicator of economic conditions. So therefore, it plays a major role to get an insight regarding GDP, industrial production, employment, etc. So the information generated from this index, Purchasing Managers Index, is very much helpful in understanding these economic activities. So that's the purpose of PMI. So that is it with regard to Purchasing Managers Index and IIP Index of Industrial Production. I hope to see you again with the next topic. Thank you so much. Wish you all the very best.